All right, y'all. You know I'm ready to ride. Sipping with that smoke on the side. Say what they want, what they like. You know I'm ready to ride. Y'all come on in. They just got the notification on YouTube. Come on in, YouTube. Come on in, everybody, y'all. Come on in. Come on in, everybody. Y'all know what time it is. It is time to talk about it and again it's somebody's business. Come on in, Dominique. Come on in over there on YouTube. Come on in, Stephanie. Y'all come in. What's up, Libby? Come on in. All y'all come on in. Make sure y'all share the video. We have a topic that a lot of people can relate to. A topic that a lot of people it's a subject, it's something that a lot of people have experienced, and it's church hurt. Come on in, Sunshine. Come on in, Miss Gladys and Claudette. Come on in, Miss T. Hey, Miss King. Come on in. My favorite teacher ever of all time. Come on in. Come on in, Tiffany. Come on in on over there, Kimberly. Y'all come on in to the live. Y'all know what time it is. We finna get up in her business just a little bit. That's why the show called Somebody's Business. Come on in, Ashley and Brooklyn. Come on in, Lisa. Everybody come on in. Come on in, Drina. Drenay. Come on in, y'all. Everybody come on in. It's live. Let's get ready. I am reporting from the car. I don't even got no reason why I'm reporting for the car today, but I had fun reporting from the car for 2 days, so I'm back out here again. So come on in. Come on in, Nola. Come on in, Keita. Come on in, everybody. Everybody come on in. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. We have a topic that a lot of people have experienced. Come on in, Ingrid and Sharon and Charlene. That a lot of people can relate to, and this is something that a lot of people have dealt with, and it's a reason why a lot of people are no longer in the church, and it's because something has happened, something traumatic has happened that has caused them to walk away. So we have this very, very, very beautiful woman on today. I'm not going to take up too much time. I'm going to let you introduce yourself. So if you could introduce yourself for the audience and let them know your name and where you're from, and then we're going to get right on into the interview.
My name is Tanya Wilder. I currently was born and raised here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I've lived here all my life. Well, I moved a little bit to Chicago. A lot of people don't know Chicago is like 2 hours away. So, but I pretty much lived here all my life. I am a church baby. I'm not a preacher's kid, but I am a church baby. So I've been born and raised in church all my life. So.
Okay. So, you went through, so I guess this would deal with your first marriage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So,
yes.
So so first tell me, how did you meet your husband? Because I don't want to just get on here and just, it's just all bad. Everything is bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you had to like him. Come on in.
Yes.
So how did you guys meet?
Well, my first husband, I back when I go out now. I go to bars and lounges and clubs. So initially, I met my husband at a club, and I didn't really like. He was handsome, but I didn't really like him too much. But he was handsome. I said, oh, he's very handsome, and we got together, and I had been telling. We both kind of were church kids or whatever. So once I met him, dated him for a little while, I said, you know what? I said, I really, really want to get back in church. And because I had been in church prior to that, because as we call saved, I got saved when I was about 22 years old. When I met him, I met him on my birthday, October 17th. I was 20. I just turned 26 years old. So we got together and we decided, why don't we just go ahead and get in church, and try to live right, because I really wanted to live right and do good by God, the Most High, whatever people call him, Allah. I just wanted to live right and do good. So, but that's where I initially met him at a bar, club, what have you. So we were okay, in the beginning. That's how we met. And then after that, which, whenever you ask the question, I'll explain that I ended up developing leukemia and losing our first child. So that's really what pushed me and prompted me to really go to church because I wanted
Okay,
to be healed.
okay,
Okay.
okay. So you guys, okay, so you met him in a bar, and then so
hmm
how long did you guys date before you got married?
About 9 months.
Okay, okay. So y'all dated about 9 months before you got
About
married.
nine
Okay,
months. Yeah.
all right.
hmm
And so how long was it before you had your first child?
I got pregnant. Well, sexually, we became sexually active like right away.
I ain't judge you.
Um,
I ain't judge you. Look, my
like a month. I want to say a month in, and he was a little more adamant about the sex than me. I was the aggressor. I'm a very outspoken, transparent person, and I'm very aggressive when it comes to a man that I want. Now I don't
oh,
pursue men, but you know what I'm saying. So I don't pursue
you know what
men,
you
but
want.
yeah.
You know
So,
what
but
you
if
want.
I'm with you, right? If I'm with you, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, we're
So
coming. Period.
yeah. So it happened, and I think I got pregnant. I don't know, 4 months in, and I guess that's what happened. I ended up having a miscarriage. So when I had the miscarriage or whatever, I went to the hospital, and that's when I found out that I had the leukemia because I was bleeding like it was real bad. I was bleeding bad. Went to the hospital, and that's what happened.
So
They
how
said
long had how long had y'all been together by the time you found out that that you had leukemia?
about 5 months.
Wow. What,
5 months.
5 months of being together or 5 months into the marriage?
5 months of being together.
Wow.
We were dating and stuff, and I ended up pregnant, and I was just
Okay.
bleeding bad. Yeah, yeah,
Y'all got married after you had the miscarriage.
yes. And after I had found out I had leukemia, because I
Okay.
started chemo. Once I lost the baby, I started chemo right away.
Okay. Okay. So during this time, how did the relationship between you and your husband change when you found out that you had leukemia and lost the baby?
Um, are you referring to before we got married?
Okay, so once y'all got married, we haven't made it to the church yet, right? The church isn't involved yet, right? Right.
No.
So you already found out that you have leukemia and you've already been pregnant and had a miscarriage. So you go ahead anyway, and y'all go ahead on and y'all get married, right? 9 months
Yes,
in.
and August of that year, it was May when I found out. I started chemotherapy the end of like in June. It happened really fast because they actually gave me a year to live.
Wow.
Yep, and this
So
was 20.
what kind of so you were stage 4?
No, I had leukemia. I had bone marrow leukemia. It's called aplastic anemia, which is a form of leukemia.
Okay. Okay.
So they gave me a year to live. They said I needed a bone marrow transplant, all of that. By June of that year, we were married in August, but in between that time, he went ahead and proposed to me, and I actually told him, go home and do whatever you're going to do. I said, because I don't have much time. So I don't want a man. I don't want a boyfriend. I want to be, but he
Right.
decided to go ahead and marry me. So
Okay.
that's what
Oh,
happened.
okay. And so, at what point do you and your husband get involved in church?
A little bit after I found out November of that year, we're talking 1998. So we were married in August, November of that year. And I don't know how many people believe in angels and demons, but when I was in the hospital, there was actually an angel that appeared and was over my bed and told me that I was not going to die. And this is the honest to God truth. And when I saw the angel, I mean, his wings were as big as the hospital bed. His wings were huge and it was glowing. I couldn't see the face, but it was glowing. So after that, I knew I wanted to go to church because I felt like that's what I was supposed to do. Even though at that time I wasn't in church, and God visited me anyway,
Right.
you know, and that's a prerequisite to where I'm going with what I'm gonna say later. But yeah, so around November, I saw Pastor on TV, and I just told him, let's both go to church. You know, I need God in my life, and I really would like to go so that I can continue my healing.
Okay.
So around November, August, September, October, about 4 months in. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So once you got into church and you obviously started experiencing some turmoil within church. So
Mm-hmm.
what so because it's not my story to tell, I'm just gonna guide you in this story. So
Yes, ma'am.
what started happening?
Well, let me just say, before I met my husband, way before, 'cause
Okay.
remember I told you I got in church when I was like 23. I met him when I
Okay.
was 26. So I had got in church for a little while when I was younger, like 23. I got back out. But even from me first going to church, it just, the turmoil, I cannot, even as a little girl, I can't remember a time while I was ever in church that that it was nice. I remember always feeling this heavy burden on me, like I wasn't supposed to be there. But I'm like, this is wrong. I'm like, no, we're supposed to serve God. We're supposed to live for the Lord. And immediately when I was in church when I was 23, I just noticed the mess. And I hate to say this, but somehow it's like the pastors, all the mess is surrounded around them. I don't
They
know
the
if other
head.
people,
This the
I don't,
head.
yeah. So it makes you wonder. And then it's always years later, you find out all this scandal and stuff that's always surrounding the pastors. And every time, it's just like if you see a bunch of flies flying around, and excuse my language,
Go ahead on
and
say it. It's that kind of show.
you know,
Fly
you
around.
see a bunch of flies around, the shit is somewhere around.
Come on in. You right.
It's some
Shit.
shit somewhere. And I'm telling you, I haven't met leadership yet that it wasn't mess. And it makes you wonder, as our people, I believe in the most high God, but I just believe that we had our own relationship with him. It's not the way the common church, as excuse my language, I don't know
Go ahead. Go
what to
say
do,
it, man.
but Caucasian people have given us Christianity. I don't think that's who we really were. I don't think we were Christians. I think that was something that was given to us, as I've learned later in the years. But the turmoil is already there. And that's why when I went to the new church, I told my now ex-husband, I said, I don't want to get involved with these people. Let's just go here. I want to live for the
And,
most high.
and
Let's
what and what denomination was this?
non-denomination.
Non-denomination. So Christian.
Christian non-denomination, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hmm. Yeah. So and I told him, I said, I don't want to get involved with these people. I said, I just want to go to church and go home. But he wanted to sit up front and be around him. I said, I'm telling you what I know in my spirit. I said, we start being around these people, this is not going to turn out good for nobody. I said, because I said, I'm just telling you. I said, let's just go to church and be good people and go home. And
So
that's
he wanted
around,
to, so your ex-husband wanted to have like be like in the inner circle in the church. So he wanted to
eh,
work in the church.
yes, at that time, whatever that was. Let me tell you the first the first experience I had with mess there.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
we were sitting in church one day, and there was this guy, and he was watching me and he had his eye on me all service, and he was part of security, and I could see him out my peripheral. He kept staring at me, staring at me. So on the other side, there was a lady sitting next to me. She kept looking at me all service long, all service long. So I told my husband when we got home, I said, this lady and this guy was both staring at me. He was standing up doing security. She was sitting down.
Mhm.
So we go back to church the next Sunday. The guy comes up to my husband and says, "Hey, we should go hang out and have dinner or whatever one day." And I told my husband, I said, "Well, baby, that's the man that was looking at me." And I said, "I don't feel right about it." And this is what I said. I said, honestly, I said, I think he have a liking for me. I said, because the way he was looking at me. So that same day, my husband was like, "Well," he was like, we gotta talk to somebody. We don't go out no more. We don't do that. We gotta be around somebody. I said, "Not him." And as I'm leaving the building going home, the lady that was looking at me the week before runs outside, chases me down, and was like, "Hey, God told me you needed a friend."
Do what God said. Do what she said.
I, God told her I needed a friend. I was young and naive. Ooh, I didn't know no better. I didn't know
Right.
no better. So I said, okay. But in my spirit, I said, this woman is a harlot. That's what I heard in my spirit. But I said, no, I'm gonna leave it alone. So the guy ended up inviting us to dinner. My husband went,
Yeah,
and her husband, who when I seen him, his eyebrows was arched,
crazy.
and I'm like, y'all want to go hang out with us? I'm like, really, girl? So yes, we end up going out with them people against my better judgment,
Mm-mm-mm.
and the scandal just took off from there. The mess that the devil tried to have me in took
So
off from
what?
there.
So what happened?
The guy basically started coming around all the time. He had a wife. So he started coming around all the time. And I laid down one night and had a dream that he, was sexually involved with me. So I told my husband about it. I said, this guy, you
Lord,
know, yeah,
brother, you done talked. You talked to him. You done told your husband you done fucked the man in your dream.
yeah, I told him the truth. And because I kept telling him I didn't want this man around me. I just told him the truth.
Well,
Ain't
come
no
on in.
sense in,
Truth then.
ain't no sense in me sitting up. That's why I said I don't have to lie about nothing
Yep,
because
come
this
on
story has.
in. Come on in.
So yes, so he was like, "Well, you overreacting."
Oh shit. I'm overreacting and I done dreamed that this man then had his wife. Child, what my fan? He lost his goddamn. Child,
Yeah.
he done lost his mind. He lost his
Oh,
mind.
girl, that's why I said we got to talk another day about how I ended up with my new husband and how my husband then was okay with me dating the man I with now. He
Wait.
told me to date him and really
You finna go. Look, you that's a multi dollar hammer. Jeez, you gonna go. Look, Bella.
because everybody asked me when that book coming out. Girl, yeah, they used to hang together and I used to cook for both of them and everything. That's another story for another day.
Well, honey, you like, yeah, we gotta talk about that. We gotta tell you back out here to talk about that. Look, Bella, but tell me what else? So, okay. So you done met this man, he started coming around all the time. And so your husband didn't have obviously he didn't have a problem with the man coming around.
No, and I warned him. So I kind of started liking the guy a little bit.
That's why that's why you had that dream.
I told him, but
That's why you had that dream.
yeah, yes, ma'am.
That's
But
why you had that, that's why you had that dream.
that's why I tried to run.
Okay, so you started
That,
liking him. And so what happened, Bella? Come on in. Come on in.
well, all
I was
right.
in
What basically
funeral.
happened was he started coming over. My husband wasn't really saying it. He called me on the phone one day. The guy did, and I was like, "Wow, you're allowing this guy to call me," and I was so upset about that. I said, "Why would you allow, excuse me, another man to call your wife?" And I was hurt about that. And I began to question him and question his sexuality. That's why I say,
Uh,
baby, we got to
uh,
come up with another. You got to give me a name for another story to talk about how my marriage ended and the scandal behind that. Because
Lord
the
have mercy.
scandal,
I should have had my ass. at home. Look, Lord, okay, so come on in, Bella, wait, cause you look. Let me tell you something. This is our type of tea. This is our type of tea. You can't look. You on the right. You came to the right motherfucking place. So this is our type of tea on here. So look, Bella. Okay. So look, child, cause look, I get excited about shit like this. So look. So cause Miss Gladys said lust and spirit. So so look. So okay, so now okay, you done met the man, and okay, he done started coming around and all that kind of stuff like that, and your husband is fine with it. Okay, so what happened, Miss? Come on in, Miss Bella, and let us know what happened.
Well, when he came to the house, he come over there. I ended up kissing him.
Oh, child.
I told my husband about what happened. My ex-husband. I told him about what happened, and he basically was sitting there. Like I said, I don't want him around anymore because I told the guy, I said, I don't want to talk to you no more. Don't call me. Don't come around our house. Don't do none of that. But remember, baby, I had initially told him that in the beginning, I saw that and I didn't want the man around. Remember I said that?
Right.
Listen, because he just wanted to be somebody so bad. And I told the guy to go away. He ended up going away. And we were still at the church, but I cut it off because I feared God. So I cut it off.
So let me say, did it ever get sexual?
No.
It never got sexual.
It got sexual. Well, he squeezed my booty and kissed me.
Okay. All right.
That did happen. And might I add, my husband back then wasn't sleeping with me. That was one of the problems. We had just got married. We'd only been married, oh shoot, maybe 6 months, 7 months.
Get that rainbow fan.
And I had just got off chemo. I had just got off chemo a couple months earlier. I had just got off chemo a couple months earlier than that because I had been taking chemo from 1998. This was 1999 when this transpired. So my husband was not, he never really slept with me. That's why I said a story about how I ended up where I am now. That's a whole nother thing, girl. My husband met him, and he was trying to be his friend.
He definitely was sucking and guzzling down dick. If he had this beautiful black queen on the side of him, was you willing to have sex with him?
Girl, I remember I told you I'm the aggressor.
Look, so you was really, and he just like, cause he was slobbing and guzzling and gobbling down dick.
Yep. Then he lied to me. That's why I said that's a story for another day. I asked him, had he went through anything sexual. He waited 17 years to finally tell me, yes, I was sexually assaulted. So
okay, look. So we're gonna get back on track. Okay, so whatever happened with you and this guy?
Nothing.
What happened with you? Okay, so what else? Why would you consider this as some bullshit in the church? Because these people were in the church, and they were.
Let's talk about the girl. Remember, I said there was a girl that pursued me when I left church.
Yeah,
her.
Talk about it.
So this bitch was coming around, and the guy had already told me this bitch. She wanted my husband. She wanted my husband because the whole time she was coming, I used to catch her. We would be at church rolling her eyes at me. And then I just started noticing the pastor's daughter. So this is what I heard in this particular church. There was a guy that was there that the pastor had actually put out of church because he was sleeping with all the women in the church. Now he had a wife. Oh girl, this church was infamous. Everybody was sleeping with everybody.
So everybody just fucking.
Everybody was screwing everybody. So the girl that pursued me, she was one of the church whores. I knew it actually. Yeah, she was one of the church whores, and they always be the ones that wear them dresses down to the floor.
Oh, child, you better come, Bella. You better come out, Bella. It be them hoes. I be saying that on here. It be them be the hoes.
Them the
Them be
biggest
the
hoes,
hoes.
the
The
ones with the long
unsuspecting hoes.
dresses. Praise and
Yeah.
worship team. Praise and worship
Ooh.
team hoes.
Ooh. Mm.
Them.
The Ebo Boho.
The Iba Baba Shanda little shot.
Ooh. You better come on.
Handa little shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
child, every them. Them be the ones.
Girl
Them be
standing
the
over your
ones.
body at the girl standing over your body at the altar talking about ba 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 whatever they be saying, girl. Them.
Ooh, child.
Girl, witches. See, it ain't enough time. We're gonna have to do part two. There's not enough time to talk about all the shit that I fucking went through. I've been with my husband 4 years, and it took me all 4 years, and I still ain't cracked it. Because sometimes he get to hearing the shit, he get mad. He said, "Bella, I don't want to hear nothing else."
Look, Bella, what happened with this woman? What happened with this woman?
Girl, she was trying to come around. She did everything she could to pursue my husband. She would come over there in booty shorts. Now, this the same girl that would be at church with the long dresses on, but
Mm,
she would come over my house with booty shorts on, talking about where
mm,
my husband, like I ain't gonna say my husband's name, but it's such and such here, you
mm.
know. So she would come over and where he at, where he at. She had little kids, and so I love children because all my children died. And that's why I said it's so much to say because I was pregnant in the church. I lost both my babies. I had miscarriages prior to that, 7 total I lost. But the last
Oh
two,
Lord.
yeah, the last two, was in the church and they mocked me. They talked about me, told me next time you need to lay down. Next time you don't need to be wearing no certain shoes. I mean, that's why I said it's so much. But with her, she wanted my husband, and when she couldn't get him, she made it seem like she didn't have really no crew and nobody, but she was around all the messy people in church. Because as I said before, all the people that were like really on praise and worship, the choir, the armor bearers, the people that carried um the people that carried the bags for the mother bait, for the mother and stuff, it was them people. And they were
Mm.
just so, I said, how are y'all so wicked and evil and pursuing people, husbands and wives? And check this out. The guy that actually was sleeping around with all the women in the church, out of all the women he was screwing, and he tried to rape one wife at the church. And because she wouldn't sleep with him. He tried to rape one of the women there. The pastor did not put him out until his daughter, who was also a whore,
The,
until she got pregnant by him.
wait, who got pregnant by? Now say that again. The,
The
the the
guy,
man that was fucking all the women in the church.
yep, he got his daughter, the pastor's daughter, pregnant. Then he put
Oh,
him. Then he put him out the church.
did she have a baby?
Yeah, she's probably 20 something now. She's maybe 22,
Lord,
23 now. Yeah,
Lord, have
she. Church don't we don't do abortions and stuff like that. So yeah, but
mercy.
women were very jealous of me because I was very sickly too. You got to remember, I had leukemia, and a lot of people don't know you have cancer or leukemia of any kind. Even when you get off the chemo, there are so many side effects that come with that. You catch what I'm saying? There are so many side effects that come after you get off the chemo because the chemo causes damage. So
Right,
I was a lot in church. So a lot of women would try to take my husband. They always would mock me because I still kept myself looking nice because I still was who I was. So I
right.
try to keep myself looking nice and pretty to the best that I could. I was so sick all the time. And people mocked me, dogged me, they judged me, they semi made fun of me, like a lot of things like that. Even when I was younger, when I said I was 23, the women treated me different. They just were mean people. I have not been to a church in my life where there are a few nice people, like a lot of the elders and stuff are okay. But I've heard stories where the elders do people wrong too. But most of the stuff I went through with people of my own generation.
People in the church right next to you. So okay, so with the woman, whatever happened, um, whatever happened with the woman that was
The
trying to put
lady,
you on?
she just kept trying, like through the years. She ended up, girl, they was married. They one chick was married, girl. That's oh my God, it's so much mess. Her and the
Okay,
girl that was
so why did all these women were attracted to this man, and this man was obviously, you know what I'm saying?
because I don't know what, and you know what, can I say this? Most of these were women who most of these were women who were church people, like they were preachers' kids and things of that nature. Because the girl that wanted my husband, that was after my husband, was after she slept with a lot of people, men in the church. Not just my husband, she
It
slept with a lot of
going on.
people.
It
So
be
my
some shit
husband was,
going on.
huh?
So what did you experience that essentially just made you want to just, what was it, because you were going through these things over a period of time? So what happened that essentially made you just, walk
The you
away?
talking about the final straw?
The fight, what
Well,
was the fight?
what you say?
What, yeah, what initially made you walk away from church
Well,
and
initially,
be gone
well,
for 7 years?
I ended up leaving that church because of all the mess that I saw, the favoritism with the people who were wicked. I didn't understand that. And that pastor, let me say this, and I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead,
Just
but he
say it.
died. He died very young, 2 years ago. Was that last year he died? No, about 2 years ago. He was so young when he passed. And I said, because God was not pleased with that stuff. You know, one thing about it is when I was in church, I wasn't playing. Just like who I am now, I don't play that shit. This is who I am. This is who Bella is. It's just what it is. But they play in church and playing games. And just the treatment that I saw of the people. See, this is how it is. It reminds me of Hollywood. If you're not willing to do certain shit up in the church and you're not messy, they don't
That's
want to
true.
deal with you.
And if you're
And
not
that's
willing
the
to kiss ass,
Yeah, and see, that's what it is. I saw the treatment, not just of me, and even my ex-husband eventually got tired. He eventually got tired too and was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because not just treatment of me, but the people who were messy. See, we got treated differently. But all you bitches want to be up in my face trying to wear my clothes, ask for things like that. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying that we left that church. We did end up going to another bigger church. Now I didn't see as much mess as it was there as I did the other church. I will say that. But it's just that we began to wake up and God began to show us other things. But basically, and one thing that I didn't like, I said, you have 5,000 members. So now I'm gonna tell you this: you got 5,000 members, right? You got
mm-hmm,
one family, and they about to get put out their house, and they hungry and don't have food. Why you can't ask 5,000 members to give $1?
right.
That bothered me. That bothered me. Like y'all can't give a dollar. Y'all can't give a fucking dollar for this. You can put somebody in charge. You don't even have to know who the family is, but y'all can't give $1 to
Mm-hmm.
help these people. Y'all to help these people eat. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get
You can't
exactly
give
what
a
you're
dollar. That bothered me. That was like one of the things, the straw that broke the camel's back. Then the stuff that I went through, the mocking me when I was sick, the calling me high maintenance because I was sickly and I just wanted to get my nails and stuff done. There were so many assaults and attacks from a woman like me that was minding her business that had nothing to say. I had
So
nothing to say.
when you say that they will mock you, what do you mean when you say that they will mock? What are some examples of you being mocked?
Okay. I remember one time I was sick at church and people, different members and stuff would always say, man, it's always something wrong with you. What's wrong with you today? You know what I'm saying? What's your problem today? Or my husband pulled up because maybe that day the chemo, my legs used to hurt bad. He pull up at the door and pick me up. Uh, they would say stuff like, "Oh, look at you getting front door service." And then when I lost when I lost my son, Solomon, he lived for about 2 hours. People would say stuff like, well, next time if you, like I said, wear different shoes, maybe that won't happen to you next time, and rolling their eyes at me and stuff like that. And I
So
mean,
okay,
I had
so
to,
what? So you lost 7 kids. How long were you married? How long were you in this relationship with this man?
well, my husband, I was with him for almost 20 years.
Wow. And
1998. Hmm.
and in that whole span of time, damn. So why, if you don't mind me asking, and you don't got to answer it if you don't want to, why
Hmm.
why why did you keep losing the baby? So why did they keep? Because Solomon lived for 2 hours. Were all of the babies born, or
Well, before I had a life before my husband. I had another boyfriend who he's
okay?
deceased now. But I found out that I have a disorder. And like I said, it's called aplastic anemia. When I get pregnant, my body sees a baby as a foreign object.
And they tried and
So
it
yeah, and it attacks my bone marrow, which for
wow,
years we couldn't figure out why. I kept losing, 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 but that was ultimately what I found out from my hematologist, that the baby attacks my bone marrow, which
wow,
your bone marrow is what makes white cells, red cells, platelets, plasma. So if that don't work, you don't have nothing. So that's why I was supposed to get a transplant, but God healed me and I didn't have to have it.
wow,
So
damn,
yeah, yeah.
wow.
So all
Well,
of that, so that I had nervous, and I had a nervous breakdown in the church. But girl, I couldn't even walk on my own. My husband drugged me into church, and the whole church sat there, and I ended up in a mental hospital. And most of the people at the church sat there and looked at me, mocked me. Nobody came to the hospital to visit me. And the nervous breakdown was because of the sickness. And my husband, he at that time, he was supportive and he wasn't. He felt like you got a mental problem, and yeah.
so why would he think you got a mental problem?
Because he had never dealt with nobody. A lot of people don't know how to deal with people who battle with cancer and leukemia, and that can be mentally uh hard on you. So he didn't know how to deal with it, and it was his first time dealing with it, and I somewhat understood. Uh, so to go through that and then be in the church, going through all of it, lose my children, be attacked, women mocking me, but girl, let me tell you something. A bitch still was dressing. I didn't do nothing else. Girl, I'm like, I bet you one damn thing. I bet you my ass gonna be cute when I go to church. When I do get better. Shoot. So that's the upside of it. But I just could not deal with it. Didn't make sense. And I'm like, how does pastor, and it's like them the people they cover. The ones that surround them up under them, they be in the most shit, but them the ones they cover.
That's true. Because you know what? Shit have to cover shit. Shit have to cover shit.
Girl, you, oh my goodness gracious. I just, I wouldn't wish what I went through on a dog. And then even when I would go, mhm,
Let
go
me
ahead,
ask you,
babe.
so what caused you to what caused you to walk away for 7 years? Why have you been gone from 7 years? Have you become non-religious? Have you found another religion, or you know What has
Well,
kept you away? What has kept you away?
well, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. One night, my ex-husband, had a dream, and he woke up the next day, and he told me, he said, I had this dream, and I am a dreamer, and the Most High allows me at times to interpret dreams. It's just the gift that I have. I'm a dreamer, and not something I particularly like, because a lot of times you see things you don't want to see, whether they come true or not. And my husband laid down one night and he had a dream, and he said, I said, what did you dream? He said, I dreamed of a scripture. And I said, well, okay. And see, at that time it was around 2012, so I was still in church. And that's another thing. When me and my husband car went bad, people wouldn't pick us up for church, and we wanted to go. And I just was hurt about that. Like, people just were not giving, and they were people in church are very self-centered and very judgmental and critical. So what happened was, I went and I said, okay, well, what is the scripture? He said it's Revelations 2:9 and 3:9. So I said, well, we would always have Bible study on Sunday in our house. I went and looked up the scripture, and I said, I read it, and it said, um, oh God, how did that scripture go? It's in Revelations. It said,
I don't know it, child. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm trying to. I know what it says, but I don't know it line for line. And it says, though thou art poor, thou art rich. There are those among you who say they are the real Jews, but they are not. But they are of the synagogue of Satan. So I said, I don't know what that means. So I went and I told my husband, I said, well, I'll research it, my ex-husband. I said, I'll research it and I'll get back to you. So I went on there and I said, Most High, what's going on? What does this mean? What are you saying? So I went and I looked it up, and I said, the only Jews I know are the ones over in Israel or whatever. And we have this area up here in Milwaukee where they have these Jews that live over there, like they own neighborhoods over there.
Mm-hmm.
And they wear the black hats and all of that stuff that
Yeah,
they wear. So I said, okay. So my husband, I mean, not my husband, I said, them the only Jews I know. So then I said, I just typed in something in the computer. I said, who are the real Jews? That's all I said. I Googled it. And then it brought up this thing that said the real Hebrew Israelites.
oh,
And that's what happened. Now that's exactly what happened. And when I started to research it, I said, through the years or through that month, I was in tears because he just dreamed a scripture. He didn't even know what it meant. And that's what happened. So when I began to research, I said, oh, this makes sense. I said that we are, and I don't claim to be nothing. I don't have no title or none of this stuff, but I do believe we are the children of the scripture. So that's what happened in my life. And
and
after
so
that,
that's
huh?
that's what you live by.
Well, yeah, as far as I don't particularly like when you be seeing these people over here with these Power Ranger outfits and all that stuff. I mean,
Right, right,
maybe I should say that because I'm not judging nobody, but it's just not stuff that I dabble in. I just
right.
know that I
The
believe we are the children of the Bible, and I think that's why we're so hated the way we are. That I do believe, and I just do my best. I live a normal life, and I kick it, and I go out. I have never felt so free in my life. I am so glad. And like I said, I don't judge nobody in church, and I'm not telling
right.
nobody not to go to church. Girl, I'm so glad that I'm away from that mess. And I
But
even
you
when I
know,
was visiting,
religion is a chain, not God. Cause see, that's peace per love. It's the religion. The religion is the chain to me,
yeah,
in my
yeah,
experience.
and I had to relearn everything. It's like
Mm,
some of the stuff that was originally said is not what Most High God said. It's like they took the word, the white man, to make it fit their agenda. He never said, and if you look up the word, for God so loved the world in Hebrew means I mean, the word world means Hebrew. It's Hebrew. So that's what it is. So I don't follow particularly them either. A lot of these people to be on the streets, but a lot of stuff they saying is true. I don't particularly care for how they going about it.
Right,
That's all.
right.
But I do believe we are those children because we are the most hated people on this earth. And it ain't just because of no melanin. So I do believe that. So once I found that out, I was so happy because I said, "Thank you, Father, for freeing me." And that's why I believe also my marriage ended because I was waking up all the way
Mhm.
to get away from him too. There was some abuse and other stuff. That's why I said that story about my marriage,
We
honey,
got
you would be sitting here.
and look. Look. I'm finna get ready to get on off here. Oh yeah, I gotta get off here. We finna get ready to get out because look, this how long we been on here, honey? Because look, you got tea. We got to do a part two with you because I want to find out because it's so much, and I want to find out how this man. I already know he had to been sucking and guzzling down dick, but I want to find out how you know a lot of shit. How you stayed with a man that long that didn't want to have sex. Um, did you have sex with other people besides your husband since didn't want to do it? I want to know that you had to bring. I want to know that you had to bring the hoe out. You see what I'm saying? I want to know if you had to bring the hoe out because he put you in a position to bring the hoe out. See, I want to get down to because see, this story ended up being something more than what I thought it was gonna end up being because it's a whole lot of you got a whole lot of shit going on. You had a whole lot of shit going on.
Yeah, with the leukemia and everything, and that's why I was saying, baby, the how I ended up with my husband today, you would not believe me. Most people be sitting up there like that should be
Look,
on
wait,
Gary
look, I don't want
Springer.
you to say it. I don't want you to say it because we're gonna have a part two. I don't want you to say it. Look at Tasha. No, Tasha, we're gonna come back out here. Look at Tasha, some get down to the nitty gritty. We ain't got enough time to get down to the nitty gritty, Tasha. You see all this shit that she had going on. This a whole novel. This is a whole no. So I'm gonna hit you up, Miss Bella, because we need to have a part two because you got a whole lot of shit that you got going on and we need to talk about. And we want to get in your business. Look, Erica said, come on with it. And we want to get in your business. But we want to get in your business. So look,
Girl.
thank you so much for coming on here because I'm gonna hit you up when I got your inbox and see what you are doing. So look, thank you so much for coming on here. And I really appreciate it because look, girl, I knew you had it was gonna be juicy, but I ain't know you had a steak. I ain't know it was gonna be this juicy. You see what I'm saying? So thank you so much for coming on here. And
Girl, yeah.
look, y'all, we gonna have a part two, and I'm gonna be back on here tomorrow because y'all know I got another interview tomorrow. I got somebody who will be meeting a young woman whose best friend drowned, saving her and her daughter from drowning. So make sure you tune in for that at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. And y'all know I love y'all, and y'all know as usual, I fuck with everybody that fuck with me, and I love everybody that love me. And if you don't, bye, bitch.